Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you do not know my name yet, my name is Jessica. If you are new, thank you for stopping by and give me some of your time. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. It is free. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you very much for stopping back by and giving me more of your time. Today is my oldest son's birthday. He is 20 years old today, and I said today again. Anyway, I'm going to make him some chocolate cupcakes with some buttercream frosting. Everything is going to be homemade here in my home. I'm not a professional baker, nor am I a professional cooker, whatever you want to call it, but I like to bake. And I think I do a pretty good job at it. Everybody eats what I make. There's never leftovers. And so let's jump right into it. Okay, I do not have a clean kitchen. It's somewhat clean. I have dishes that I still have to get to, but I just got in the mood to make these cupcakes right now, so I figured, why not? All right, to get started, I'm gonna grab my chocolate cake recipe and buttercream frosting recipe and get everything around that I need for this. Gonna have to refill my sugar container and also refill my flour container. I need flour, sugar, cocoa, unsweetened cocoa, and baking powder, baking soda, salt, milk, eggs, oil, vanilla, and a little bit of boiling water. So I'll have to throw some water on the stove to boil that. Baking powder, cocoa. I started already getting these things around. Baking soda, I have a huge bag of it in my storage area, so I'll grab that in a second. Salt, oil, vanilla. I'm going to grab my eggs. I'm going to wait for the milk. Actually, I'll wait for the eggs too. Going to grab my baking soda. My baking soda, I forgot, is under my kitchen sink. Maybe. It is not, so I'm going to have to hunt that down. It's got to be in my storage area. Ta-da! Found it. I forgot that, oh, I got some gnats in here. That's life. Gnats happen, flies happen. We're in country setting. Anyway, I have dirty dishes. That's probably why there's a couple gnats here and there. I only see one. Nope, didn't get it. I don't see it anymore. Listen, if you're new to my channel, the title says it all. The real life. I don't fake anything. If I see a fly, I see a fly. If I see a gnat, I see a gnat. All right, back to what I was doing. I'm gonna fill these up real quick. Well, not real quick. I'll make a big mess if I do real quick. My sugar container. Ooh. Okay. Thought it was bad for a minute. I need to get the huge storage containers so that I don't have the risk of anything going bad. My flour and my sugar. It just clumped up a bit, that's all. Okay. Oh. They can be broken up. I thought it was crystallized, but it's not. If I'm not mistaken, I think the only way it would crystallize is from moisture. Like I said, I'm not a baker, so don't quote me. Flour. Gonna have to buy some more. This is the last of what I have. Yes, I buy all-purpose flour. I tried almond flour, but I don't use it. Never have used it, but when I tried to use it, my recipe was a flop. So I still have some of that in my cupboard, but I'm not using that today. Okay. I'm gonna have to put 1 cup of water on the stove to boil. Try to get everything around that I needed for this recipe. I've got my butter sitting out at room temperature over here for my buttercream frosting. Okay, water. Forgot what I was doing. There it is, 1 cup of water. By the way, I do edit my own videos. I don't do a whole lot of editing. That's why you see my bloopers and all that stuff, because I want the real things that are happening. I don't want to show fake. I don't want to show everything perfect. There are way too many creators out there that are showing a perfect life, a perfect cooking experience, a perfect recipe, no mess ups. And then you've got the viewers like you that are watching these, and some of the viewers, even myself, have looked down on themselves because they see this perfect way of doing something, but yet they can't succeed that perfect way of doing things themselves, if you know what I mean. So I show the real. I show the real recipes that I'm doing. I show my mess ups. I show my success with things. So yeah, I don't know. I've watched too many or came across too many channels that are super fake, and a lot of them have been getting called out for being super fake by other content creators. I have someone that I am subscribed to that is very against basically using your kids to make your money on YouTube. I'm against that too. So if you're here hoping you'll see my kids on my channel every single day, I'm sorry. Move along to the next one. I could name a few YouTube creators, but I don't want to get struck, get that strike on my channel, so I won't do that. But there are quite a few of them that are putting their kids on there every single day, running videos multiple times over and over and over, like recording, I would say, like, I don't know, an answer to a question recording that over and over multiple times, while that child, you can tell in their face, don't want anything to do with it. They're being made to do that. So I don't think it's right. I don't. You'll see my kids on my channel once in a blue moon, here and there, maybe in the background. It is what it is, but I'm not going to bring my kids onto my channel and make them be involved if they don't want to be involved. So there's a lot of creepy people out there in the world, and I don't want too much private information on my channel, and I will not share private information that I don't want out there. It's just not the person I am. I don't need the repercussions for that, if you know what I mean. So, all right. The water's already boiling. I don't know why I started the boiling water. I just had that subject on my mind of other YouTube creators or content creators that are using their kids to get money from their channel. Anyway, so let's start this recipe. Trash. Okay, bowl. And you'll hear my 1.5-year-old in the background making her little noises. She's been shown on here a couple times, but I have not used her at all for my channel. She's in the background. And there's actually a video I had made with a couple of my kids that wanted to be on video when I first started my channel, of us baking together. And when I started watching this content creator, I don't know if I'm able to say who it is. Dad Challenge Podcast. I absolutely binge watch his videos. I agree 100% about the putting your kids out there to make your money on your channel, and all of the above that he's saying. I'm not going to go through all the details. If you have not checked him out, I highly recommend him. Dad Challenge Podcast on YouTube. He has a Facebook page. He has Reddit. He has Instagram. He has it all. And he is hilarious. But along with being hilarious, he's real. He's telling the truth about a lot of these content creators and what they're doing with their kids, and how you can tell. You can just read a kid's face and tell that they don't want to be a part of it, but they're being made to. Anyway, check him out. He's not sponsoring my video or anything like that. I don't even know if he can, but just check him out. All right. 2 cups of flour. The one thing I can say, though, about how I raise my kids is they get home-cooked food. They don't always get home-baked food, but when they do, they love it. And they get this home-baked food more than they would as if I were going out somewhere and buying something pre-made. The one thing I have to say about some of these content creators that are getting upset because they're being called out is, if you know you're doing wrong and you don't want the people to call you out on it, why are you doing it in the first place? Everything I do on my channel, I do it for a reason, for a purpose. I don't do it for, what do they call them? The internet trolls. There's a lot of them. Even if you're doing right on your channel, doing everything right, you'll still get the internet trolls. But Dad Challenge Podcast, he's not an internet troll. He's the truth. Here we go. So I'm just going to scoop my cup measurer and flatten the top with the back of a butter knife. I'm not going to pack the flour in here. I'm just going to let it fall down in. There's my 2 cups. Then I'm going to need 2 cups of granulated sugar. I myself have 6 kids, if you don't know yet. I have 5 boys and 1 girl. I have to chop this up. It's got a little hard. I kind of break it up a bit. Getting the sugar, I just scoop it in and shake it to where it levels out. Hang on, gotta check on Scarlett. Okay, nothing going on. Just Scarlett trying to climb like she's climbing a tower. She's in that stage right now. And getting into everything. All right, 3/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. I have my 1/4 cup measuring here. Measurer. I don't even know. I can't think straight. What do you even call it? Put down in the comments what you call it. I'm getting a little bit extra in here, but that's okay. So 1/4 cup. I need 3 of these. I'm not going to level these out. Three. Two teaspoons of baking powder. I use Ergo. I don't really know how you pronounce it. I just know it's baking powder. I need 2 teaspoons. One and a half teaspoons of baking soda. One. And a half. Okay. Where were we? 1 teaspoon of salt. I use iodized because that's what I have. I'm going to mix that up a little bit with my rubber spatula. Kind of get it all well incorporated in here. Plus break up any of that sugar that did not break up. Now, I am going to mix my wet ingredients into a separate bowl, and then I'm going to put it in this bowl right here and throw it on my stand mixer. Gonna start boiling that water again, and I need to grab another bowl for my wet ingredients. Grab my milk, grab my eggs. Okay. Okay, so this is a rolling island. If you see it moving, that's life. It does it to me all the time. I'm gonna grab 2 eggs, crack them into this bowl. I'm gonna make sure this is the first thing I do just because I don't want to dirty another dish. And there's gonna be multiple ingredients going into this bowl. So cracking these in there first lets me see if I have any shucks that fall in, rather than trying to dig through everything else that's in this bowl. Or see the shucks in the bowl that's filled with all the other wet ingredients. Grab a fork here. I've got my eggs. I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm just using Meyer brand. Half cup of oil, which I'm going to use this right here. There's my half. All right, eggs. I need 1 cup of milk. Don't have enough to save in that. Probably a little dash of milk left in that gallon. Give this a quick stir with my fork. Okay, here we go. Dry ingredients, wet ingredients minus the hot boiling water. I didn't need to say hot, but minus the boiling water. That's going to be poured in after this is all mixed up. I got too many things in the way. All right, here we go. Okay, now to get my boiling water. One cup. I'm going to turn it on the lowest speed and pour it in very slowly, a little bit at a time. Turn it up 1. Check this consistency first. Okay, so I think that's all I want to go. I didn't use a whole cup of water. I used probably 3/4 of a cup. I don't want my cake batter to be too liquidy. And to be honest, this looks a little too liquidy as it is. So if this don't go through, I'm going to redo the recipe with less water. It almost looks like syrup. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but I don't think it's supposed to be like that. This is actually a recipe I got offline today. I'm not using the chocolate cake recipe that I usually use. I figured I'd try something different. So, all right. Time to get these into my batter dispenser. That one's a little too full. That's okay. Let's hope these are plump cupcakes. I'm gonna make sure to put a cooking sheet underneath of it, just in case anything spills out, so I don't make a mess in my oven. Filled up. Guess what? I forgot to set my oven. I'm gonna start it at 350 degrees. Wait for that to preheat. Wait for that. Can't talk in this video either. I don't think I can talk right in any video. I'm gonna wait for this to preheat, and after that is done, I'm gonna throw the muffins, cupcakes, whatever, into the oven. In they go. Well, as you can tell, there's not much rise in these cupcakes. They look pretty funny. But I checked in, they are done. To me, this is so far a half flop. So I guess we will see if it is a 100% flop after I taste them. I'm gonna let these cool down, and then I'll come back and make the buttercream frosting, and then we'll get to decorating. Okay, so I decided to put the rest of this batter into my bread pan. Ooh, I about lost those cupcakes to the floor. So I'm just gonna put it all in here. You know what? Just gonna dump it. And then I will throw this in the oven. Now those cupcakes took a half an hour to cook on 350 degrees. I didn't want to put the temp up too high. I didn't want to scorch the bottoms. But they are done. So this will be going into the oven. For 30 minutes. I'm gonna get this mess all cleaned up, and then I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so this recipe is a flop. I am going to make another cupcake recipe for this, for my son's birthday, but as you can tell, they all spread out. They did not rise. They got little dips in them. I did not open the oven at all while they were baking. So I don't know why they did this. Maybe you guys know why. Put it down in the comments. But I just knew my batter was way too runny. So I tried to go around the edges with the butter knife. They are sticking. And I also forgot, because my mom had said to use these that I had got from Temu and turn them into cupcake wrappers. I do not have any more than cupcake wrappers, so I should have done that. I'm going to do that, but I can't get these out. I tried. I mean, they come out, but it's a mess. So I thought about doing cake pops. And I think that might be what I'll do with this recipe. They're not cupcakes, but cake pops. So I'm just going to scoop all this stuff out and end up doing cake pops with it. I'm going to make another recipe, a regular cupcake recipe off camera. And then once them are done, I'm going to come back to you guys and show you how they turned out. And decorate them with, oh, I got to show you guys my buttercream recipe. I'll do my buttercream recipe after I make those other cupcakes. And I will show you on this video the buttercream recipe and the decorating the cupcakes. So I don't know how that cake is going to turn out in there, but I'm about to grab that and let that cool down so I can come back and decorate it. But anyway, I'm going to finish getting these out and I'll be back with you guys. Wish me luck. The aftermath of my failed cupcake recipe that I found online. First time ever using this recipe, so it's a fail. On to the next. Alright, here is that cake. Same recipe as the failed one. Ooh, it's still hot. Hello. Alright. Maybe I should have tried to take them out when they were still warm, but I've just never had a cupcake recipe do that to me. And this seems to be trying to fall apart already. See what it does. Grab a couple of these parchment papers. Yeah, see? Fell right apart. I don't usually try to dump out the cakes when they're warm, but I figured all this hardened up, so this probably would have. Maybe I can save it. We will see. I doubt it, but it is worth a try. It is not burnt. It's not overcooked. It's moist, but I think it's a little too moist. My batter was too runny. Well, there you go, guys. It's a complete bust. This is gonna go in here with all this cake mix, and I'm just gonna turn it all into cake pops. Oh well. I will get on to that next recipe and be back with you guys once they're done. Okay guys, here it is, the recipe I actually use, and I will link that down in the description box below this video. They turned out just perfect, very moist, and I cut those parchment papers into quarters and used 2 per cupcake, you know, cupcake hole, whatever you want to call it. 2 per cupcake anyway, and they came out easy. So, the end product of not the recipe I started, but the recipe I just did off camera that I always use. And like I said, I will link it down in the box below. Alright, let's get these things frosted and decorated. Okay, time to make the buttercream frosting. I had to go out and pick up some confectioner sugar. I did not realize I was out. So I need 2 cups of confectioner sugar. Actually, I'm going to double this recipe, so I'm going to do 4 cups. Well, no. I'm just going to stick with 2 cups. I think that'll be more than enough. So usually I do not measure my sugar or anything like that for my frosting. But this time I figured I would try. Unfortunately, I failed at it and ended up using a whole bag of confectioner's sugar with 1 cup of butter and 4 tablespoons of milk. And you will notice in the end, it worked out just the way I wanted it. All right, there's our 4 cups. So 1 whole cup of room temperature butter. I know this is not butter, it's Imperial, but this is what I use for my butter and it does just fine. Then I'm going to need 4 tablespoons of milk. This is a half tablespoon right here. My other one's dirty, buried. I'm not going to grab it. So I need 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time to mix her up. That is what I want. See how it stayed on there quite a bit? All right, splitting this up. I want to do 3 different colors. I'm going to do 2 shades of blue, and then this right here will be my white. So, 1 drop for this first one. 3 drops for this one. Let's add some yellow. So what I'm going to do with this is grab this piping bag. That on there like that. So what I'm going to do is take some blue frosting first and kind of put it in a line here. Now, I have not done this with buttercream frosting. I have done it with store-bought frosting, but not buttercream. I'll do the white next. And now the green. And then I'm going to roll it. It's not going to be perfect, Just want that tricolor in there. I don't know how well this one's going to work. Drop it down. All right, time to set the end off. Let's see how this does. Might have to cut more off of the end here, but we will see. All right, yeah. That did not go right because I need to cut more off. All right. Let's try another one. I have to put this in the refrigerator to harden up. Yep, this is kind of a little too runny. I'm gonna have to put this in the refrigerator. All right, I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. This isn't gonna work as well as I thought it would. I just had that feeling. But hey, I'm getting frosting on these things, so that's all that matters. All right. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator, let it harden up, and come back at it and add a little more frosting to each one of them. Okay, so I let this stuff get a little more firm in the refrigerator. I'm gonna try and fix them up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, now to decorate. Some of these crystal blue sprinkles on here. Just a few. And maybe some blue and white candies right here. All right, gonna add some silver stars. Yes, these are hard candies. Let's hope nobody breaks their teeth. And then finally, some blue and white sprinkles. A little extra to top it off. And that's it. We are done. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you for stopping by and giving me some more of your time. And do not be afraid to subscribe and like, share my videos, get them out there. I really appreciate it. Until next time.